If the show ever lost ratings, that we would be off the air. I know this.
Well, what is this behind-the-scenes information?
No, it's just that even, listen, I love working for this company. We've always had a good relationship, but when they brought Imus into the fold and all that, it killed me. It literally killed me because I had that guy down. He was nowhere, and they pumped money into him.
He was almost out.
Yeah, he was almost out. We almost had him out on his ass. But the company, again, chooses to insult me, to make a mockery of my career. And your career, my lovely princess. The honeymoon is clearly over. Obviously, this company hates me.
What did they do?
Well, should I go into it? I mean, I just know they hate me.
Well, I know you have this feeling.
There is a young man who, all right, I'll tell you why this company hates me. If somebody made the comment about me, I'm going to read you a guy's comment. They just hired a new guy at this company. And this is him in the newspaper talking about me.
Okay.
Howard Stern is a bully, and he's getting rich at the expense of other people. Howard Stern, you have to have sympathy for a guy like that. He's obviously been seriously abused himself. He says that's no excuse to act out on helpless victims like Jessica Hahn simply because it's good radio. It just makes you another Jim Baker. I'm saying, shut up, Howard. New York's had enough of you. Howard panders to people's worst instincts and profits off the misery of others. He was once exciting and new, now he's boring and rich. The individual who made these comments about me has been hired by Infinity Broadcasting.
In what capacity?
To walk the halls. The same halls that I walk.
He's going to be in here?
He's already in here. He already works here.
Is it somebody I know?
Tom Chiasano insults me on a daily basis.
He didn't say those things.
No, not Tom.
Oh.
But when he hires people who do this, let me tell you something. I know the owner of this company. If anybody ever said anything about him like this,
oh, forget about it.
They would never be allowed to be hired.
In the entire Infinity chain. It
That's
wouldn't
right.
be like, oh, you can hire him and he's not here. Never for Infinity.
The man who made these comments about me is Dave Herman's new producer. A guy named Buff.
Oh.
I don't know what Buff is. Have you met this individual?
For briefly when I did Dave's show.
Yeah, and what do you have to say to you?
He's very nice.
Oh, very nice to you.
Yeah.
Well, why, if he's insulting my program and what I do for a living, why is he hired at my station? Why? Why am I allowed to sit in the halls with these people, these morons? If I'm such a bad person, what's he doing working with me?
Why would he come to work here?
Get him out of here! Get him away from me!
If he had any integrity, he wouldn't come and work for this
Wait a
company.
second, I'm having a heart attack.
Really, would somebody...
oh, my God.
Maybe
I'm not
I
kidding.
should run away if you faint.
Wait a second.
No, we do need
I'm hyperventilating. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm hyperventilating.
Anybody got a brown paper bag? Don't just sit there, Baba Booey.
No, wait. Give me a brown paper bag. Put it over your head, Baba Booey.
Oh,
Just looking at you.
He's fantastic.
I'm being serious. Would you just do the show for a few minutes? Let me go walk around the block. Would you mind? I need to go take a walk. Would you carry on for a few minutes?
If you want to get up and leave,
Can I get up and leave? I can't take work in here. Just give me 5 minutes to go recover. I just got to go get some air. Excuse me. I'm being serious. Excuse me. You talk to Jackie and Fred. I got to go. Goodbye. I got to leave. I don't know why they're doing this.
Could you give me those papers? Because I would love to see where those statements were made.
Here. I threw here.
You threw them away.
Give these to Rob. I'm just going to go get some air.
All right.
I have never in the entire course of my radio career gone out and gotten some air, but I just, by yelling, I just hyperventilated. I apologize.
Now let me see.
Put up that music. I'm not kidding.
Oh,
okay.
This is in
like this.
the New York Post.
Let me see Tom.
This one. The problem now is that the joke is getting stale.
Wait a second. I think Howard and Tom are out in the hallway.
Uh-oh, you're kidding.
I hope they're not fighting like
I haven't heard a word.
we did with our old general manager.
No, I'm sure if Tom's out there, he must be trying to calm Howard down.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
It won't help, but I'm sure that's what he's trying
Robert,
to do.
did you have any indication that that's how the guy felt when you met him?
Never. He was perfectly polite. And this is what I find with people most times. They're sniveling cowards. They'll say this stuff in print, but they won't say it to your face.
From?
This particular statement is from the New York Post. The problem now is that the joke is getting stale. We believe what we say about Howard, insists Buff. He is exploitative, he's a bully, and he's getting rich at the expense of others.
This isn't like an old comment or
In fact, this was the guy who worked with Kurt Chaplin.
Exactly.
Oh,
I did not know about... Kurt Chaplin was a guy we used to work with.
You know what?
At NBC. He was a fill-in traffic reporter.
Why don't you describe this guy? Because we have no vibe if he's young or old.
He's a pretty young guy.
He's probably
he's in
about
his 30s.
30. Yeah.
And, clean cut.
Yeah.
But I think you might have actually had a chance to see him if you ever saw Howard's press conference on E announcing that he was going to be on E.
Yeah.
Remember those guys showed up? Do you remember that, Howard?
What?
Those guys showed up to your press conference at E.
That's right.
I didn't realize the association. He was the guy who worked with Kurt Chaplin for a while.
You know what? I went into a room and I sat down and I tried to collect myself. Tom Chiusano started banging on the door trying to get me out of there, but...
Oh, really?
You feel a little better?
What?
You feel a little better?
I feel a little better. Feel a little better. Where is Tom? What does he want
What did
from
he
me?
try to do?
I don't know. He's trying to get me out of the room, but I almost had a nervous breakdown. I'm sorry. Company continues to humiliate me.
Yeah, I had no idea who this guy was.
You okay? No. I was having heart palpitations. I had to go calm down. I had to splash some water on my face.
Tom, did you know about this guy's history?
I had no idea these.
Sure he knew. Of course he knows.
I did not.
He does it to insult me.
I know. Of course I don't.
Good screening.
What do you mean you didn't know? How do you hire people?
Who is this guy that he comes here? And why would he want to work here if I'm such a skunk?
I'm sure he would retract that statement.
Oh, I bet he would.
What good would that do? It's in print.
Yeah. See, what these guys don't know is whenever someone new is hired here, I scan their names through my computer. And in my computer, I pull up the names of anybody who's made up negative comments out of me.
Do you really?
Ganji, come in here. What did I do yesterday? He'll tell you. Did I not when I heard this guy's name, I said, this sounds familiar to me. Buff.
You'll never forget it.
What did I do?
We looked it up in the computer.
Right. Did I scan every name in that computer?
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right. I'm unbelievable.
Absolutely.
You know what? Let me tell you something in business, Tom. You need to know this because I know you take a lot of seminars. An elephant never forgets. I got to have a long memory. And you know who taught me that?
Who?
The boss of this company. He told me you got to have a long memory.
Your enemies are your enemies.
Your enemies are your enemies.
They can never be your friends.
If he says, if somebody says something bad about me, out and see. Forever. And I used to say, boy, that's pretty cold. Now I see what he means. You can't let people step all over you. That's all right. You know, why don't you hire everyone?
They've already done it.
Hire Mark and Brian to produce Dave's show.
Be more specific than everyone. We can't afford everyone.
Why am I insulted like this, Tom? Why? What did I do wrong?
I have no idea.
Why does the company hire honest? Why does the company do this to me? My sworn enemies. Why? You might as well hire DeBella. Oh, you did.
Or let's go get the grease man.
Yeah.
You
have him. Yeah. Why don't you hire the grease man? The guy who tried to take my money, my paycheck from me at DC 101.
You did that already.
Yeah. Who took my paycheck.
By the way, you notice?
What? Oh,
nice.
New wall.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Why does the company insult me like this, Tom? Seriously.
Did you get that for Buff?
You would have buffed
Buff
me?
Pumps? You fixed the wall?
I buff. I like to buff your.
Why do we hire people who are my enemies, who sat there and tried to ruin my career?
I can't answer for this.
And why is
the
Buff?
only thing I can tell you on this one is I had no idea those comments had been made, and I'm sure.
How did he come to your attention?
Yeah, how do we get this Buff who says that I am destroying people's lives, I'm destroying radio?
People's worst instincts.
Why is this guy here? Why do I have to run into him? Why do I have to be around him? I wouldn't hire anyone who says that about you, except me. Seriously, I would never in print say that about you. And you ruin people's lives.
And I would never say anything bad about you.
Me neither.
But
because we're on the same team.
Right,
how
absolutely.
did we wind up hiring Buff?
And Buff's not even funny. Buff's on there. I wouldn't mind if he made some funny comments, but what is that?
Would you accept an apology?
From who, Buff?
Yeah.
I don't need to speak to him. Just keep him away from me. Keep him away from me because you know what? How many months are left on my contract, Jackie? I'm not going to be working with Buff much longer.
We don't work with
Buff
him now.
can take over the morning show.
You don't work with him
Oh,
now?
I do too. I consider everyone on this staff my family. It's a team.
Howard is old and boring or rich or something.
Yeah. Why would you work with me? Why don't we let Buff do the morning show? When is my contract
Maybe
up?
he wants a loan?
How many months?
May, June, July, August, September, October. 6 months.
6 months.
November.
So I'm not counting November because November the contract's over. 6 months and me and Buff split company. I thought Andre was bad.
Do you want to know how? If you want to know how Buff came to us, I actually know.
Yeah.
He was Dave's producer.
I know.
Yeah, and Dave has no problem with it, huh? Dave doesn't know anything about
I bet
it.
you Dave didn't know yet.
Oh, yeah. Dave's in a coma.
Everybody around here is in
Nobody
a coma.
knows.
Dave didn't.
Thank God I got.
anything.
Thank God I got the back cave with the back computer.
That's not true. I knew. That's what I wanted to.
I've never seen this guy, Buff. What are his talents? What has he done with his career that he's such a knowledgeable person about
Robin
radio?
was saying such nice things about him a couple of days ago.
I know he produced Dave's show at NEW. I know that they're hoping that he'll enhance Dave's already great show here.
Right.
And I think he's going to help.
Beautifully said.
I got to ride the fence.
Right.
I think he's supposed to help book gas. And
he's a producer.
He's a producer.
Producer, okay. Well, he's done a lot with his career that he knows so much about me. How does he know so much about me?
How does he get to comment?
You tell that
on
punk,
Howard?
him and his friend Kurt. You ask Kurt what I did for him in his career and how I got him work at NBC, and then he backstabbed me. I don't talk to backstabbers. Him and Kurt are backstabbers. You tell them to take a flying leap off a bridge. You tell him for me, Baba Booey. Are you my consigliere?
Absolutely.
All right, you go tell Buffy today that he's on my enemy list.
But
and if I see him in the hall, you got to run for the hills because I'm going to get a hold of the guy.
Calm down, you're going to hyperventilate.
We have a problem.
Get him out of here.
We have a problem, Howard. How do we handle? There's going to be
And I'm not doing the Dave Herman show anymore.
His office.
And I'm not listening to Dave's show anymore. I don't even listen to Dave anymore.
Yeah,
No, I'm not gonna.
You love that.
No,
show.
I don't love it.
Yes,
I don't like Dave or his show.
Yes,
Don't like who he associates with.
I don't like the production values. I'm not listening to it anymore. I'm going to forbid the audience from listening to it too.
Howard.
That's right. That's right.
Now you've gotten Tom's attention. He took this as a joke before.
Nobody listen to Dave.
See, we have a problem. Here's the problem. Buff's office is directly across from my office.
Yeah.
So he gets in around, sometimes around 12:30, and sometimes you're leaving.
Yeah.
How do I keep you guys from running into each other? Should I just say, should I
You
demand?
tell Buff I don't want him in here until 2:30. That's when I'm done. I don't care. I don't want him around me.
I have a solution.
He
can call to check if Howard's here. And
Right.
if Howard's not, then he can come in.
Right.
Brilliant, Rob.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
That is brilliant. Tom, I'm not kidding about this. It's an insult. And you know what? If someone had said that about anyone who worked in this company,
You
he would
wouldn't
never
hire
be hired.
somebody who said that about you, Tom.
Of course not. Tom only hires. Oh, it's a joke. It's a joke with Howard.
I didn't know. I had no
Guy's
idea.
an insult.
I had no idea.
He's a nobody. He's a nothing. He doesn't
No
like what I
idea.
do. Why should he work with me?
No idea. And I'm sure he.
Let him sit in the bathroom stalls
mean it
until
to
I
him.
leave. Tell him to hide in the bathroom
That's right.
stall.
He should never be in the hall when
Smell
Howard's
Jackie.
in the hall.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll bet you any amount of money that like Dave's office gets moved to a different part of the building.
Good.
Where you wouldn't have to cross.
Let him move into another building.
Different building.
Let Dave do his show from another building.
Maybe Dave could do his show from home.
Yeah, he should. Why should Dave's life be disrupted for work?
And this way he can stay in bed.
Right.
He doesn't have to lounge out in the chairs here.
Doing myself in bed and playing rotisserie meatball.
It's a big joke. Everyone laugh it up. Oh, I blew my stack yesterday. I would almost like a rocket ship.
I can't believe that you actually, that name jogged your memory.
Once I hear a name that it fouls me, who is a radio enemy, I don't forget. This guy must be walking through the halls thinking I forgot.
He must.
He must think I'm stupid. He doesn't know I got a computer.
He hasn't come and introduced himself.
You got to understand something. I had IBM set up computers for me just for this purpose.
Yeah.
So I could get my enemies to I hit a button yesterday. I took this guy's name, Buff. B-U-F-F. I put a percentage mark next to the F so it would search out everything that said Buff. This is why I hang around with Jeff Schick. He's certainly not a personality.
Not a cool guy.
Not a cool guy. But man, oh man, it is a payoff. I sit at the computer and Buff, and I'm sitting there waiting and waiting. I said, Buff, I know that name, Buff. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. All of a sudden, the first thing spits out. So it moves real quick. About a minute later, I pull out the first piece of paper. Howard Stern is a skunk, says Buff. Next one. Howard Stern is a jerk, says Buff. Howard Stern is insulting. He's as bad as Jim Baker, who raped Jessica Hahn, says Buff. Says Buff. I'm ripped. I go, man, oh, man. Now I know who my friend is. IBM. God bless the computer.
Yeah, Buff could have slipped right through.
He would have slipped. I wouldn't have known.
We almost made it, buddy.
Yeah. Where is this guy?
Have you met him? Have you ever met
No.
him? He's not coming in.
No.
I thought maybe you'd done that. That would be the ultimate sleaze.
He's a real wise ass. You know something? When he was making those comments about me in the paper every day, and when he was, I had a press conference for E, and he came up and challenged me. I said, fine, okay, you want to challenge me, fine. But I got news for you. This company owns a lot of radio stations, and one day after your stupid morning show fails, you're going to need a job, and you're going to come here, and my company isn't going to hire you, you squat head.
Right.
My company is going to screw you. And you know what my company did?
They hired him.
They hire him. They hire him like they hire Imus. Imus! Garbage head. No talent, nothing. Piece of garbage. Six months is left on my contract. What are you laughing at?
Sorry,
you laugh like a mental patient.
Oh, Tom, go back there and play with your folding golf
leave me
club.
alone.
Yeah, go back and play with the golf club. Where's his folding golf club? I got to show everyone what he's got. I'm going to show it. I'm going to put that on the E! show. Your folding golf club. I played with that yesterday. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Do me a favor. Would you write Buff on this guy's head so I can recognize him when he walks down the halls?
A little,
little
thing hanging from his chest.
Something
tells me apology will be coming.
I was with my agent.
An apology?
Apology. I don't need no apology. Apology passed. I said to my agent at the time, you know what? Everything always comes back to haunt these guys.
Yeah.
I said, this guy, he's being a big shot now. He's challenging me. My company, Infinity Broadcasting.
It's a big radio company.
It's a big radio company. They own like 30 radio stations. How many radio stations do they own?
It's over 30 now.
Over 30. This guy's going to need a job one day.
I think.
And they'll teach him the lesson. Oh, he could be a big shot now. But a year from now, 2 years from now, this guy will need a job, and that's when he'll get taught a lesson. Nobody gets taught a lesson.
There
That's
are
okay.
no lessons.
Let me tell you something. I'm starting my own radio company. And that day will come where I can teach people a lesson. No one will work there. Look at this. This is what Tom does back in the office. I just want you to know he's not busy. Here, look at this. See this golf club? Now, if you swing this golf club wrong, the whole golf club collapses. If you swing it right, did you ever see this? You saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Watch this. All right, now you see my swing? If I go straight like this, you notice? Now, do you see how it bends?
Yeah.
If you do it wrong, it bends. Well, Dean. And then if you go like this, if you go like, yeah, this.
See, you can't even do it right.
Lock in.
Tom, you do it.
Here we go. He's the pro.
Right. Now watch this.
Now, this he can do.
No, Tom does it good.
If you do it like this,
Yeah.
it doesn't break down.
Right.
No.
Look at that.
Well, he's a good golfer. Yeah.
Handicap is his personality.
He's handicapped by his personality.
Now make it go bad.
I just did.
Oh, I see. Okay. Very good,
How much
Tom.
money did that cost? I bought it for him, remember?
All right. Oh, my God, my heart
It was
hurts.
really expensive.
I got so upset. I get so upset because here was my chance.
To finally have somebody taught a lesson.
It doesn't matter, Tom. I know where it's at. As long as I get the ratings, you guys will keep me.
No, you know I love
keep
you.
me around. No, you don't. You don't love
Oh,
me.
yeah,
Don't
you love
stop
him,
with the
all
love,
right.
babe.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to move him into your house when he's down on his luck?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a room in my house.
You wouldn't even let me ice hockey with your son. You know I'm a bad influence. She'll be a drug addict if I get a hold of him.
I shouldn't. I guess I shouldn't bring up the Flyers. Do you remember the Flyers?
What, did this guy Buff passed around?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it.
There was a big
No, you're
picture
right,
of you,
Gary,
and it
you
was a Ghostbusters thing.
Yeah. Prove your love to me. Fire Buff right now.
Well, I think he should be given the opportunity to apologize.
Well, he can apologize from here to tomorrow. I'm not interested. I don't want to see him. I'm tired of having a...
Why does Howard have to be the big guy to accept all of these people?
Because Howard is a big guy.
I'm 6'5". That's about as big as it is. I'm not a big guy.
Emotionally.
I'm not a big guy emotionally. Why do I have to feel bad for this guy?
Well, you shouldn't have to feel bad for him.
So he loses his job. He's a major talent. He'll have no
He
problem
ought to
getting
be
work.
careful about what he says.
Oh, I agree.
He's the skunk, not me. At least if I say someone's a skunk, he's a skunk.
And he remains a skunk.
Yeah.
Change.
It doesn't matter. I'll work with whoever you hire, Tom. Kill me if you want.
No, I wouldn't want to do
Just, you know, why don't you just put the knife in my back right on camera here so we have evidence. You're doing it slow. You might as well just get it over with fast.
O.J. Chiasson.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You're worse than the guy who cut the wires to my broadcast in Cleveland. When you do this to me. Worse than the guy. Do you know the guy who cut the wires in Cleveland? Why don't you hire him?
I think that they're talking.
Are they Infinity is talking with him? Yeah, he's going to be the chief engineer of our state. Yeah, hire him. What's the difference?
Are we on the air?
Hire, what's his name? Alfred.
Yeah, I forget.
I don't know. I'll look it up in my computer. So you guys, I'll look up all my enemies.
Why
I'll give you a list of
don't
enemies.
you give him a list of people who are available, who are your enemies?
Right. Why don't you get, you know what? I think it was a Brandon not Brandon Tartikoff. It was Grant Tinker fired me at NBC. Why don't we hire him to run the company? Why don't you hire Robin's father to do middays with his ham hands?
Sex therapy.
Yeah. Why don't you insult her like that? Alfred, Buff,
Mr. Quivers,
Imus, Hitler,
Grease
Man. Who's next? Who is next? How will you insult me next? It doesn't matter. You know what? It doesn't matter because nobody cares about me here anyway.
Oh, yes, we do.
I am a worker, B. I understand. If you want to have your way, you got to own your own company. Am I correct? True or false?
I mean, ultimately.
Ultimately, yes.
Thank
you.
I think you get pretty much your own way.
When I have my own company, I'm not hiring you because you're a traitor.
Oh.
You're a traitor to me. I was going to I was going to triple your salary. You were going to be a very wealthy man. But now you're not going to be. Now you're going to be stuck here. I hope to hire all your enemies.
Don't think of me. Think of Tim.
Who is your worst? Who's the person who beats you at golf the worst? What's that man's name?
There is nobody.
There is nobody, really? You've never been beaten in golf?
Oh, sure.
All right, we're going to hire that guy. Benedict Chiasson should have been his name. Well, listen, you got to hire who you have to hire. Obviously, Dave Herman couldn't find a producer anywhere else, but from a guy we have 75 quotes in the newspaper bad-mouthing.
I'll bet you Dave didn't even know.
Oh, Dave knew. Of course Dave knows. Gary,
this guy, please.
Did Dave know? I mean, Dave doesn't know this guy?
Well, he knows the guy.
Oh,
but
he didn't know about
that
it.
He made those
no,
things.
Dave doesn't read the paper. He's busy on Prodigy.
Well, I'm not going to get involved in this. Should I?
Yeah, why not? You're another guy. I'm not sure I want. Why wouldn't you get involved?
I'm not going to get involved.
You're a better friend. Are you worried about the answers? Are you worried? I don't know. Are you worried about Buff?
No, I'm not worried about Bob. I was just saying because I'm unsure. I don't. I know that one.
You look like an angry monkey when you yell.
I only know. I'll tell you what I do know.
What do you know?
One time only. A little bit after this whole thing went down, I did see Kurt Chaplin in Dave's office.
Oh, great.
That's
good.
That.
Yeah, that's great. Have Kurt here too. That's good. Kurt, the biggest backstab. I've had him to my house. I had him to my daughter when she was first born at the party. I got him work at NBC. I asked for him to work on my show and do sports, and that's how he pays me back. Why don't we hire him? Why don't we just hire all these losers? That doesn't matter to me. In 6 months, I'm off of here. That's it. I've served my time. Like the Army. I signed the contract. I abide by my contract. And then I'm off. I retire. I'll be quiet, Tom. You can't wait for me to leave.
Howard, I hate to interrupt the Love Fest, but Joan Rivers is here.
Okay.
What's he doing here?
What does she want? What's she going to come in here with those big giant sunglasses again?
No, she brought a makeup guy and everything.
Oh, good. She comes in here, half her face is covered with sunglasses.
She's got a screen down.
She says, you're on TV now. I go, so what? Show your eyes. What are you afraid of? You don't look good. Everyone's so worried about how they look. Let me tell you something. Funny people should look bad, like me. Jerry Lewis trying to make himself good looking. He stopped being funny.
That's right.
Eddie Murphy, another guy, tries to be good looking.
There's a
It's
lesson
not funny.
there.
You got to be ugly to be funny. I know that. I could be good looking. I could have got my nose fixed.
You are very funny.
Yeah. Why don't you hire all those guys from Channel 9 that I used to argue with, too? We could hire them for management.
You know, what is amazing to me about Tom is that I don't think he feels this.
No, he doesn't feel. He doesn't understand
Understand
No.
what you're feeling.
Do you respect the owner of this company?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Naturally.
He
you know
feels
what
his feelings.
His feelings are felt when he hears that somebody. Remember, Donna Fiducia sits up and bad about him.
My goodness.
Oh, sure.
And she came here for a job. You know what he told her?
I remember listening.
You know what he said to her?
I know exactly.
What did he say? He said, "Out and Z, you don't work ever for my company."
And I
That's
know,
how I'm going to be one day when I'm sticking up for myself.
and one of the best and brightest program directors in this country, the owner of our company once told him that he was dead to him.
Right.
That man was dead. He goes, "You're dead to me."
That's right.
Told him to his face.
And then the guy walked up. He said, "Come on, we've known each other a long time." And the owner of our company said, "I hear something. There's wind blowing by me, but I don't know what it is."
Exactly. And that's how I feel I should be treated. I have been a loyal soldier. When this guy Buff gets in the newspaper and badmouths me for weeks on end, handing out bumper stickers and things with my face, I should be given the proper respect around here. But it's a big joke. Oh, listen, they hire Greaseman. Imus, the biggest no talent in the world, put him on 50 stations. It's all right. I got a laundry list of things that I can't stand. But I don't own the company. I know that. I'm a good soldier.
You know what you don't do? You don't do what some of these people would do, which is to then stop doing your job well, boycott, stay home.
No, I don't do any of that.
Make them give you more money.
I don't do any of that.
You're the best.
That's right.
You really are.
But when the contract's over, it's over. I know where it is. It's a contract. I got Joan Rivers out there, Tom. I have to now switch movies.
Can I leave you with a thought?
Go ahead. Don't play that thing. What's the thought? Oh, stop it. I'll leave. And believe me, Buff will do mornings. It'll be great.
Yeah.
He's a great morning man.
He knows more about it than Howard does.
He certainly does.
He knows where his shortcomings are.
Yeah. I must tell you. All right. Goodbye, Tom. Please leave, and I will prepare myself for Joan Rivers. While Joan Rivers slaps on about 900 pounds of makeup so her eyes can be seen.
Is she ready, or does she need
more time? She is what?
She arrived ready, and now he's just doing like some hair.